broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Gabby Kelly, and we have a very full house tonight. Sitting next to me, Mark Donica.
Hello, Kathy Kelly. It's me. Sitting next to you for some reason.
I know.
What's going on?
Please give me some space. I'm like claustrophobic right now.
I'll just go lower. And I'll hide behind the microphone.
Bye, Mark Donica. Sitting across the table, the hobo.
I feel like it's been a dog's age since I've been here. Because I wasn't here on Monday. Like, I've been having to do training, so I can't do Raw as much.
Like the whole week.
It's terrible. But I'm here now.
7 days.
You got me 100%, baby. Soak it up, because it ain't gonna last. Though you want it to, I know you do.
Sitting next to the hobo, Carlo Cannon, all the way from Australia.
All the way from Australia.
Just to do this show.
That's all I came for.
Yeah.
That's all I came. I heard about it and I had to be here, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the best show going. Excited to be here.
That's us.
So you're a wrestler. You trained at Lance Storm, the very first graduate,
Yes.
or one of the first?
I was in his very first class in 2005. And there's
Okay.
only 5 of us in that class.
Wow.
Yeah, so I graduated then and went on to help him teach 4 other classes. So.
Are the other 4 still wrestling?
No.
You don't like them, so you have no idea.
Actually, I think one of them is. One of them is.
Okay.
So there's one survivor. There's only 2 of us left.
Yeah. So where are you training at now, or what are you doing?
Currently, so I've had my own training school in Melbourne, in Australia.
Yeah.
So we've got that for 2 years, the Vicious Pursuit Pro Wrestling and Performance Academy. And I wrestle all over the country over there. And I'm over here just to get my name out too and let the Americans know that Carlo Cash Money is in town.
Yeah.
Cash Money, that's what they call me.
Cash money.
Oh, I like that. I just
Yeah.
get you to record it, put on my entrance music. I knew I came here for a reason.
But you also know several of the people that are in NXT right now.
Correct.
So.
Yes, I think there's 4 Australians there at the moment, and I happen to have trained 3 of them.
Wow.
So not too bad. I think I'm okay.
Wait, who?
So Emma,
yeah.
I trained Emma, and she went over to Lance's also. Buddy Murphy, who's in NXT, and Payton Royce, who just debuted tonight
Wow.
on NXT. Yes.
Do you know Billie Kay as well, or no?
Yes, she
Okay.
was in Sydney. So I didn't train her, but she was trained by excellent trainers in Sydney.
Awesome. Well, excited to talk about NXT this week, the second week of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But we kick off tonight's show with Carmela versus Payton Royce.
Payton Royce, yes.
Your girl. Carmela's moonwalk, great. Loving that for, the second time that we saw it?
That's kind of her signature. She'll do something flashy or fancy. She wants to show off a little bit, bust out the moonwalk. And it's a clean moonwalk.
Better than push-ups.
It's really nice.
But unfortunately, Payton loses this match. She taps out. Carmela dances after the match as well. What do you guys think, though, of this overall?
It was a solid match. I didn't take too many notes because I was too busy watching. It was one of those women's matches. It was great. A lot of the leggy offense from Payton, which we've seen before, or have we? Because this is somebody completely new. But
They had her as a jobber a couple times. I don't know if you saw
Cassie.
that.
That's Cassie, right?
Casey,
Yeah.
well, her first time was Casey.
Yeah.
But it was Cassie, and then they switched. They didn't switch her Twitter account, so it was all over the place and bizarre. But really solid, and I like how it's not just a figure 4 neck lock for Carmela. It's a move and a transition into it. It makes it seem a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, she was a face buster off of it in order to swing her legs around. She's got some flexibility. There's something there. Mm-hmm. It's not the cleanest, It's definitely not the cleanest, but there's definitely something there, and this matchup was pretty evenly paced. I liked seeing the really clean back and forth. Nobody really, for a lot of sportsmanship, let's say, no cheap shots. I liked that. It was just a hot contest with a newcomer trying to prove themselves against somebody who's a little bit more established. Just a little bit more, though. Carmela's not been around that long, but still, obviously, the more senior of the two.
I think they both came across looking really strong. I mean, for debuting Payton Royce, I think they came off really strong. She got all her stuff in, pretty kicks. Her leg, they haven't seen what she can do yet. This is just a little preview.
And you know what she can do.
I know what she can do. I mean, she's got that hashtag now, legs for days, and that's not an understatement. She does some incredible stuff. They haven't seen nothing yet.
I think it's really refreshing to see women that have experience before they came to NXT. And we've seen this before with, Sasha, Emma, several other girls there, Bailey. But it's nice to see that again because there are so many people that they just brought up in a model search or elsewhere.
I think it makes it easier having that background in, a lower level wrestling.
Because they can jump right into it. Like, they did a couple house shows and then they started debuting on TV, in the tapings.
It certainly seemed like they were ready to go pretty much from when they were called up. I believe the announcement was made that they signed her, and then she was on television. I mean, granted in a sort of a jobbing fashion, but she was right there.
Exactly. I think it was she was on TV in 3 weeks, and then Payton was and live shows in 4. So that's how they know. I guess when someone's good. You can just tell by the way they move in the ring, their presence, just even the way they lock up, if they've got it or they don't.
Yeah. Definitely. Next segment, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe in the locker room. They are teaming up later tonight for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Joe asks Finn if he was gonna forget his belt. What was that?
Yeah, he was.
That was really weird.
Here's your belt.
He's like, "Are you ready? Oh, do you want to get your belt? Cool." Punches the belt.
I think that was more of a, hey, I'm keeping my eye on this a little bit more than you are, champ.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing, indicating that maybe sometime in the future he's going to be challenging.
A lot of people are saying that he's going to turn.
I'm one of those people.
You're calling it early?
Yeah. I call things relatively early on the show.
How's your strike
90%
rate?
of the time he's wrong, but...
Oh, okay.
I still think Leo Kruger's coming. No, I don't know.
I think that Finn Balor will eventually lose the title.
That's a good prediction.
It's a fair bet.
Start calling you Blanket. I think a 3 count will happen in the middle of that ring. And somebody will ring the bell.
I think that somebody will not kick out.
Damn it. She's good.
Eventually.
Eventually.
But anyways, we'll talk about that match later tonight. They show some of the first rounds of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and I believe 4 of them from their NXT house shows are online now. NXT released them.
Segments, clips.
Okay.
But it shows
Quick sizzles.
The winner.
Yeah. It has the Vaudevillains versus Blake and Murphy, Enzo and Cass versus Dawkins and Fulton, the Hype Bros versus Wolf and
Kakawa.
And those are the ones that I'm seeing right here.
No, and the mechanics, or Dawson and Dash and Dawson versus Knight.
Samson and Knight.
Yeah, Samsonite.
Samsonite.
Was way off.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Totally the briefcase bros.
For you.
Thank you.
We see another promo for Nia Jax.
And it's not Mankindy. It's less Mankindy than the last one we saw.
Mankindian?
Mankindy.
Because the first one was a little bizarre. Then the next one was a little bit more serious, but the music backing it was like an old Mankind promo before he debuted. Like she was gonna be rocking back and forth into like a window light, like the light of a windowsill. And this one they changed the music again, and it's just like, oh, okay, she's intense and I like it.
Yeah.
I think she's getting more intense. Less mystery, more intensity.
That editor is not good at submitting copy on time. He's just submitting the final edit, and they're like, "That's fine. Wait, you should have sent this to us a week ago before we started."
I think they're doing a good job at building that anticipation of what she is and what she looks like. If they don't know what she looks like already, then.
Do we think that she'll debut at the next Takeover? Or I know that there are tapings going on today, right now. So that has potential, or do you think that they'll hold off until October?
Depends on a lot of different factors. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I've not seen her. If I could see her, I'd be able to go, yes, okay, or no, wait. But I have not seen either, so I can't really give one way or another.
Start calling you Blanket.
Yes, she might be, or perhaps not.
Well, I think they did it. They did that with Apollo, and that worked out quite well. Maybe they'll do the same and see if it works for her. I mean,
Yeah.
it worked pretty well for Apollo. That crowd popped huge for him, and they're really excited for him with Brooklyn. So
Very true.
Definitely. We have the first tag team match of the evening. Tyler Breeze and Bull Dempsey, Team Beautiful versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
I like how you spelled Ciampa.
Yeah.
More phonetically. just so you remember.
Also, shout out to Bull for the tweet about, what was it, Garbanzo and Chipotle?
Yeah, I got it here.
I was really hoping they'd win because Bull said they'd get matching fur vests. What could have been?
I know.
I still think there's a chance. But
Bull accidentally bumps Breeze off the apron during this match as he was winding up. And then Ciampa and Gargano end up winning, advancing to the next round of the Tag Team Classic.
It's a big deal.
That's a huge deal. I mean, for them to even be in this is a big deal with their own names, still able to do the indies.
Graves said it himself. He said, "Do they even work here?" And it's like, yeah. I mean, that sentence alone is even much like, wow.
Yeah.
He's right.
Do we
don't.
Do we think that Gargano and Ciampa made really the bidding that they belong here? Was this match cementing them in NXT?
It was definitely exciting.
It was exciting. I think this is much like in Payton's case in the first match. We haven't seen anything yet. This was just a very exciting preview, and they can do so much more.
Gargano was incredible. Like,
Exactly.
he's so clean, so crisp. Everything was so smooth. He looked like he'd been there like the whole time.
Yeah.
I think he was really smooth.
I mean, Ciampa with that slap, though.
So-
My God. Smacked the taste out of his mouth.
Get teeth like yours.
Yeah, really. All missing on one side now.
Do you think that we'll see more indie wrestlers in NXT or on tapings like this in the future?
This is what we had hoped for, and it seems to have gone as well as it could go, which I think cements the perpetuation to the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope so.
It definitely seems like something that William Regal is interested in. Whether there are other people at the company who agree with it and will endorse it is another thing.
Yeah.
I hope to see more of it.
I think it's a smart move. I think it's bringing the casual fan that might be against WWE or NXT going, oh, hey, our guys are on, let's watch it. And then it makes them watch the whole show and go, hey, actually, this is really good. Because I thought this episode was quite strong. So they might be brought in to watch these two guys that they've been following locally. Mm-hmm. And now they're watching the entire show, hooked to go, maybe I'll watch next week too.
These guys, it definitely gives them more clout. But as a wrestler, I want to know, is that kind of... are you excited for that, or is it kind of a letdown because you get to go to a taping, but you're not signed?
I think it's exciting. I think any opportunity for a wrestler is exciting. I mean, they've been wrestling locally around the US. I mean, I've heard of these guys back in Australia, and their names are quite big. You know what I mean? So for them to get a chance to show what they can do on a global scale makes a lot of us that are still working in these go, maybe we can get a chance to show what we can do. Because their stock, whether they're signed or not, their stock just went way up.
Oh, completely.
And the world got a preview of how good these guys actually are. So whether WWE take notice and sign them and go, we're going to take advantage of this or not, they're in a perfect position.
And the companies that they work for, I think, released really nice statements about them being involved in this.
Of
I saw one
course.
from
This gives everybody the rub.
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody can benefit from these two people being held to an arguably higher standard of wrestling. I mean, they're now viewed globally through NXT, through WWE, and they can now elevate the smaller local companies.
Yeah.
I think the stories are great.
Yeah.
These two dark horses, so to speak, coming in and beating two established guys. I think it's a big deal. And I think in the case of Ciampa, a very big deal, because he worked for WWE quite some time ago. And they released him like they did many people and said, go make something of yourself and we'll think about having you back. And wouldn't you know it, sometime later, here we are. This is it, man. Somebody making themselves into something great, something greater. Never stopping, never ending the fight.
Never give up.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Very good.
After the match, Breeze takes out his frustration on Bull.
Yeah. It was bound to happen. Not surprised, but it had to happen.
But Breeze hardly did anything in that match. Bull did essentially most of the work.
Well, Breeze is a narcissist.
Yeah. But
You lost this match. Well, you didn't do anything, but you still lost it.
the spots of the arm drag and just like nope, lift him back up, and then the crossbody fail. Oh
my! I've only
God.
ever seen that crossbody, that big man crossbody thing, one other time.
Was it Earthquake?
No. But I was on the floor. It's the best. Just a guy going, no.
Just knocked off him. It might have been like a local dude on Ryback or something, like one of the super teeny guys when he was doing like 3 at a time. Like it might have maybe something
That's
like that.
not what I saw.
No?
I remember when I saw it. It was
Okay.
in training. And one of the El Ridiculoso did it to a bigger guy, and he hit him with it, and it was beautiful. And it just bounced right off like a toothpick hitting
Total
a
no-sell.
really big man.
Man.
Do you think we'll see more fallout from Breeze and Bull not?
100%.
100%. It was on Twitter, like you mentioned. To quote Bull, his tweet was, "As far as Gorgonzola and Chipotle go, congrats. Good luck in the next round, Breeze. You're still dead to me." I asked him, "Do you and Tyler want to come on the show and talk it out?" He's like, "I'll come on, but not with him."
We could do like a really good couples counseling. Kind of like
Seriously,
Michael
that's
Cole
what I was
did.
trying to go for. Buy some tea, some really good stuff, have him come in.
Or you just go
Work it
full
out.
Springer.
Yeah, we can
Let's
do that.
bring in some old lovers and make this thing really nasty.
What?
Tea.
Yeah.
I like how you're hung up on tea and not the old lovers
That's
bit.
dumb. I'm
All
stuck
right.
on tea.
Gee.
Yeah,
Breeze, you are not the
That's-
father. Is that? Oh,
That's Maury.
That's Maury. Oh,
That's
okay.
Maury.
I'll dance if you have to. It's fine.
Next up, we have a segment from the Lucha Dragons, and they say they are going to breathe fire tonight. Balor and Joe are gonna get burned.
Because they're dragons.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Right.
It works.
And Fuego.
Fuego.
Spanish with Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
How do you say
My 12
chat
years
in
of Spanish
Spanish?
class paying off. Can't speak a word. Well, 2 words. Devin Taylor interviews backstage Dana Brooke. She asks what is bothering Dana Brooke. Dana says what's
No.
bothering her is
Please
that
continue.
she hasn't patted Devin on the head recently. Also, what's bothering her is that Carmela says she's the hottest chick in the ring. And, you know, people just don't appreciate Dana Brooke's incredible body. They don't take her seriously because of her pretty face. And she declined the invitation to the Arnold Classic in Spain just so she could continue competing in NXT. These other girls better watch out because playtime is over.
You did that really good.
Thank you.
Oh, the self-defeating or the promo? Just the inner turmoil?
So let's take a moment.
Break it down.
Every girl
What do you think
has a road to the top. And it just depends on how we get there.
I want to ask you, Carla, what do you think of Dana Brooke? Before we start breaking apart this promo word by word, what do you think of her?
It's funny because you can tell that she works really hard and she's trying really hard. And I think if she took a step back, she'd do really well. But I think she's trying to, like, one thing, her entrance with that flipping thing that she does, ridiculous.
Her entrance is so good.
Ridiculous,
It
right?
gets me really excited for her matches, actually.
Because I think when she's out there, I think it feels like there's too much pressure on her, and she has to perform. But I think she's naturally good at it, but she's just trying too hard. That's what I think. And I feel like promo, I don't know if it was you guys, but I thought it was like a babyface promo.
Really?
It felt like the things that, like, her content was like, you don't know what I'm really like. I'm this kind of girl. You know, I decline this because I love wrestling. You know, you're not taking me seriously. I'm going to be taken seriously. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, so I should care for you. But then you pat her in the head, so I don't like you. And your delivery sounds heelish, but your content, I like.
It's a mixed
delivery
message.
is definitely
does that-
heelish.
Yeah.
I think that she's improved so much since the first tapings that
definitely.
we've seen her on. Her entrance, she's so confident. I think that in the ring she is very confident, and we've seen the fans down at NXT starting to like her. Like, there were chants tonight.
There's a Dana Brooke section.
There were, Dana Brooke, and then it's very polarizing, which I think that's getting significantly better. The promos need a little bit of work.
This was the most confusing. I want to win the championship, but I have to be the best female wrestler, so I have to win the championship. Wait a minute.
It was like
the most circular logic I've heard in a long time.
there were a lot of points that she was told to hit or something, and then, like, I don't know.
She was talking about a they. They were talking about her. Are we the they that are talking about her? Are we the them? They? Panic! She's watching.
I don't think she listens to our show.
Thank God. Just saying.
That's a funny way to put that.
What do you think, Mark?
This was I did like as you mentioned the talking about wanting to not listen to anybody's perceptions of her as she's a completely different person. That started getting like, oh, cool, she's going a different way with this. She's starting to be a little bit different, like you ain't seen nothing yet sort of a thing. But I agree. She started coming off super heelish and it, or not even super heelish. Just her tone didn't match what she was saying.
That's perfect.
It made it confusing.
Because I perked up. I was like, oh, she's saying something else now. I was like, okay, I feel like we're getting. When she was cutting a promo, she's kind of letting us out, like we're learning a little bit more about her. Okay, cool. And then she went back into the old way. And I was like,
yeah, because it felt natural. That was the problem. Is it hasn't felt like it's been a part of her yet. It's only felt like this is what Dana Brooke, the Total Diva, would say. It's like, no, what would you say?
So do you think that simple would have been better?
Yes.
If she just said, like, Carmela says she's the hottest chick in the ring. She's not. She's ugly. I'm hot.
If she went, she's a base, whatever. Whatever. If she just sounded normal as opposed to, this is a promo. And when I finish this promo, I'm gonna pat you on the head.
I think, like, from what it sounds like,
he did finish.
Dana Brooke
what he said he was gonna
watches a lot of Nikki Bella promos.
And that's what chat's saying is that.
Wait, did they really say that?
They're saying that it's
you guys,
reminding them.
we're like one mind.
Weird.
But not in the good way that it reminds them of Nikki Bella.
They both have great abs.
She's the Total Diva. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
at least at the end of it, you'll remember a promo though.
That's what we've said before.
Come hell or high water, you remember that promo?
We have no idea. She, as we've said on this show before, she could be the smartest person because everyone is talking about her.
Exactly.
Yep.
I want to see a delusional heel. Like, I would love for Eva Marie to just be like, oh yeah, everyone's talking about me. Like, I'm the most trending person on Twitter.
Apparently, the chant of the night for Eva has been all botch everything.
Wow.
Yeah, the wholesale crowd is
They're harsh, aren't they?
they're pretty harsh.
Mean bunch of critters.
We get some crap for trying to look on the bright side of her training, but at least she's starting to try.
We try and be positive. The world doesn't let
Doesn't
us.
let us be positive. Yeah, it's fun.
Everyone's eyes just went.
Well, yeah, because we're live chat, and then
Right.
they're a couple seconds behind, so it'll be fun when they catch up. So
So
let's move on.
to
10.
perfect time.
This was
Down
great.
Cup.
Because it barely showed him even wrestling. It's just like, hey, this guy likes the number 10 a lot.
And it counted up.
Yeah.
210.
I mean, half of this, instead of having footage of his matches, like on like for the house shows, they spend it doing a count up.
I honestly couldn't figure out what was happening. Of course, it was like a couple beers in. Why is there a countdown? Is the TV gonna explode? Oh, never mind.
Is this 10 thing going to be like the next Yes thing? Is that what they're
It's
trying?
gotten over so much at house shows, and I don't think that they've utilized it as much on TV as they could be. But if you notice, the entire crowd is already on board without him even really debuting it. We haven't seen promos like this yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Maybe it is the next Yes.
Well, that's the thing. The thing that he does, he would come out during other people's matches and rate them like a 4 or a 5.
Oh, really?
So when he came out, he would be the perfect 10. So it's kind of a variation on like a Tyler Breeze male model perfection sort of a thing, but done in a different way where he gets everybody else involved and mad at him.
Kind of like Bret Hart.
4 out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's ever getting that 10.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's going to get that 10 because he, in his mind, is perfect. He is a gift to wrestling and the world, and we should all take notice and thank him.
the only emoji Tye Dillinger should ever use is the hands like this. So after this, we see Billie Kay versus Dana Brooke. Billie comes out. I personally am not a fan of Billie's music.
Well, I didn't notice it. Did you?
I didn't either, which means it
It
wasn't
sounded
love
like
her.
Lady Gaga type music.
It was weird. It was like Sexy Beast or something. I don't know. Yeah, that was the lyrics.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was sex. It was a different B word.
No, they wouldn't use that.
I know, which is why it was confusing. And weird. Somebody in chat, Zuri says Biggie versus Tye Dillinger, 5 versus 10.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic
That'd be
NXT joke.
great.
Yeah.
NXT classic.
What?
Vintage Biggie.
Vintage Biggie. Vintage Biggie!
Dana Brooke ends up winning this match. Look, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think?
Go on.
Was good. A lot of Billie Kay working around Dana. Just kind of keep going back to that head, back to the head, pissing Dana off. Dana grabs the hair, tears her down, because Dana can't wrestle like Billie can. So there you go. There's your story right there.
Billie's great. I like how she gets in the ring too with like the splits thing. That's really cool.
That was like
Split roll.
Oh, that was Payton did that one, but the camera moved out of the way.
Okay.
Right now, yeah, she
That's
sits
what
on
it
the thing
was.
and pulls her leg and rolls in.
yeah.
Not all Australians are the same, Kathy.
We're all Australian. We
All
do the same
brunettes
thing.
look alike.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
that's funny.
Everyone thinks I look like Billie.
Yeah, I could see a little bit of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get that.
BK versus CK?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Book it.
You just need an interviewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So
like,
that people know that we're not the same person. Like, we have to
Exactly.
be in the same room at the same time.
I thought it was. I was a bit confused. I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's your accent?"
I
from?
dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh!
If Billie Kay could fake an American, we could do like this.
Crikey! See?
Terrible.
My God, she's got it.
That's almost offensive. I'm kidding.
I think my favorite part of this match, unfortunately, was on commentary when Rich Brennan misheard the Billy chants as Bailey chants. All of the times where Rich Brennan is messed
Rich
up
just
and Corey
needs to-
Graves is just like, that's not what that is
Their
at all.
relationship
What is wrong
is
with
so
you?
good because it's just like Rich doing his job, but like also just that awkward dude, and then Corey just constantly in like shake my head mode.
Just lambasting.
Because like people since that's more of the entertainment side of it, people don't really put Brennan on blast. But when it's something that happens in the ring and somebody who's still learning messes up, then it's no, they're terrible. I hate them. They're awful. Get out of here. I'll botch everything. So when it's something like that, it's on the entertainment side as opposed to the wrestling side. People tend to let it go a little bit easier.
Except it's Mike Adam Lee.
Rich gets
Except for-
so much
except for
hate
that
on
guy.
Twitter from
True.
like miscalling,
multiple things.
Good for Billy for getting a chant on her. Like, it was her,
Yeah.
is that technically her debut as well?
No, she was.
No,
she
she's
had
been
last
on.
week.
Yeah.
Did she have an entrance as well? Yeah.
No, she was
I
just
don't
in
think
the ring.
so. Like in the ring already.
She was
Yeah.
just-
Okay, yeah.
But I almost wish that Rich would play this up more. Like, that becomes his character of he's just, he does this occasionally, and Corey just reams him for it.
Call Rich by his real name, Millhouse.
Damn it, Millhouse.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
Yeah. Now I wanna. Damn it! I gotta do that now. I gotta put Rich Brennan in those little waiters for the
flood pants.
Do you guys want to mention anything else from the match?
Billy had sparkly boots. I liked her sparkly boots.
Billy's boot that she does, like, kicks her head
yeah,
up.
man, that was
incredible.
wow.
She's really clean when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I said, just like Payton, she's got a whole bunch of stuff that she hasn't shown yet. But that kick, like, I think that popped the whole crowd because they weren't expecting that.
Whoa!
Come back, big boot, oh yeah!
That was almost like a Yakuza kick.
Yeah.
Just
Kind of.
straight
Really
head
high.
off. Yeah.
I also really appreciate, and we've mentioned this before about the women's division down at NXT, is the women's characters are so much more defined than they are on the main roster, at least right now, because you're seeing these mini factions as opposed to
Individual people.
individual storylines. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Makes it more entertaining. Devin Taylor interviews Apollo Crews backstage, and he says that Apollo Nation is about to take over NXT.
All right,
Yep.
let's see it happen. He's kind of like built like a one-man nation.
He's gigantic. Absolutely
One
gigantic.
of the largest people.
People
I've ever
that
seen in
should,
person.
like, so big that he shouldn't be physically able to flip, and yet he does.
He does. He does. He shouldn't fit in the plane. He looks gigantic.
Defies gravity.
In planes too.
In plain sight.
Yes.
Okay.
They showed a little package from the biggest Bailey fan, Izzy. Makes my heart melt.
Friggin' adorable.
She got invited to the NXT Performance Center to welcome Bailey home from TakeOver after winning the Women's Championship, and they just hung out all day.
It's the best. That gives me goosebumps now. Like, that's the best. I think that's the best thing about wrestling. That's the best. Especially because Bailey connects with the fans on a whole nother level that anyone else can. Like, seeing that little girl's face, her eyes is like, I'm sure we all like, I'm sure I was
we
like
all
that.
felt?
I was like that at 5. Like,
Yeah.
man, I meant to be
It
boss
brings
man
you
at 5,
back.
and I was like that.
Like, that's the new version of the kid at the beginning of the Bret Hart, like, Bret! And he just totally turns. But then, like, Bret hangs out with him all day.
Is that
like,
you?
No. I wish.
I just want to see in like 20 years them show a package of Izzy like making her debut.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That was everybody's heart is
What if they just sign her right now?
There'd be actual developmental.
Literally,
Like
just
brain
all the
development.
development.
Yeah.
From all the way from primary school.
unseen contract. Nothing. Oh, God.
Bailey returns to the tapings next week.
And we know why now, which we'll talk about at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that noise?
They taped the main event for this episode in Providence, Rhode Island. It was after SummerSlam, but before they taped a SmackDown.
It was last
so it was
SmackDown.
the Tuesday. What?
This last SmackDown. Last week's SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
This
2 weeks
threw
ago.
me off big time. I didn't know what the hell happened. It was very strange.
I mean, I
It was
knew
a
what
tag team
happened.
match.
Thank you very much,
Dusty Classic.
Mr. Friggin' Captain Obvious over here.
I arrive when I'm needed.
I mean, I didn't expect them to throw to Byron and Jimmy. And
Byron?
They should have dubbed over.
Phillips.
was it?
Yes.
Wow, I was really drinking a lot.
Well,
I
they
didn't even
never
think-
showed them, and I think that
Yeah, they
what
did.
they
At the
oh they
start.
did.
At the very beginning.
Oh,
before
I
they came
missed
out.
that part, but I think that
Everybody was drinking.
No,
I was
they
sober.
just
I was there.
They
Thank you.
should have
He dropped the
dubbed
pencil.
over commentary
Straight up.
with Rich and Corey. Like, I don't see why they didn't do that, because if you notice, like, there were
Isn't
a
Rich
couple.
at SmackDown anyway?
What?
Isn't Rich on SmackDown
I
now
don't know why
anyway?
they didn't do it, but like,
This was weird.
why didn't they keep that at least consistent? Because there's so many times when these guys have to go back to redub commentary anyways because something's
yeah.
changed, and so why wouldn't they do that in this case, so that they could even have some sort of close to the show as opposed to, well, the match is over.
Maybe they were
and
testing
then
it.
credits.
Maybe they were just testing to see how it go, or see how the fans. I don't know.
Now that more people are going to be on the road, just being tested for the main roster, you just record the NXT match.
I'm fine with them doing that. I mean, it was very similar to the way that they showed the match in Japan on one of the NXT shows.
Yeah.
But
In a way.
I just want it to have more of a better flow.
That's
in
exactly
between.
what I was saying. It's just all of a sudden, we're going to have that match now. Let's go over here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why aren't we going to have the match? Okay, we're having it over.
Because it feels so, NXT feels so intimate, and it feels so like this is our little thing. And then when you switch it out to the big crowd and you switch it out to different commentators, it's suddenly not normal NXT. It's
And Jimmy
suddenly,
Uso had never really seen Balor's interest before. Doing kind of like, wow, man, that's cool. Wow.
That's what a lot of his commentary was wow. that was cool. Don't get on the wrong side of a kick. Like,
Doing that color. Doing that. I have no idea what's happening color.
Okay, let's talk about this match.
That was a good try, Jimmy.
Balor and Samoa Joe versus the Lucha Dragons. Balor and Joe win with Muscle Buster and then coup de grace.
Back to back on.
Back
Poor
to
little
back.
Kalisto.
Jesus. I'm just going to snuff out this little bug right here.
Yeah.
I like how they got a "This is awesome" chant after all of the arm locks at the top.
They hadn't even done anything. Yeah.
I mean, everyone there, I just remember the Twitter reaction when Balor and Joe came out.
Even just like Joe first came out, everybody was like, "Oh!" Then Balor came out, was like, "Oh God!" Like everybody was freaking out.
Cool
Which is weird because
Yeah,
it
cool
was a
jacket.
dark match before the show, and you could even tell like when they were doing the what are the shots with the crane shots, and the crowd was like half empty. But
So in that respect, it was like an NXT show, but they went from having because it was
they had the same
It
amount of
definitely
people.
seemed like they had the house lights down more than they usually have.
that's what they
trying
do
to make
usually
it-
for like main event or
Right.
superstars.
Because there's people missing. So they try to hide it by, it's dark in here. Oh, you can't see the
It's definitely a
fans.
different look because you got the black apron of the NXT as opposed to the white apron and the white ropes, and the shots were different. It's not as intimate, and they had different crews, so it didn't look like it was like an American remake of like a different country show or movie.
You know that if they had promoted that match, that was going to happen then, more people would have showed up early.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think kind of everybody was surprised by this. I don't know if this was necessarily told to everyone way in advance. It was kind of like, well, we got these guys here. Let's just do this thing. We'll be able to check it off. We have it in the can. We'll just edit it and put it up.
Yeah.
The match itself was really good.
It was really
Yeah,
great.
Really good.
Yeah.
I love that spot with Samoa getting like passed by, going out and sliding back in and hitting that.
Just catching him.
Catching
Nope.
him. Incredible. That so fast. Samoa's so quick.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Big man that
That Izzy
fast.
from the corner, really clean too.
Oh jeez. Every time he does that though, it's always so crisp and gross. I use that a lot. Is it, when something's really clean and hits really well and gets sold really well, it's gross. It's just like, oh, that look, I'm gonna, because it makes you feel like, oh.
What
So if I
about,
make you feel sick, then I mean I'm doing the right thing in my matches.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Good.
you know what was gross? The, like, what looked like 3 vampire bites on Finn's
Yeah.
neck.
What was that about?
I think it was
Probably
from the ladder
3 vampire
match.
men.
It had to have been from the ladder match at Takeover. Like, something happened, because you could just see, like, his arms were scarred, too. And just, like, I don't know what it was. Like, he was breathing too
Residual.
hard and just popped one of those.
The new-
Started
Came to
Just
life,
bleeding.
spray.
because I thought they were hickeys at first. I'm like, oh, he's had a good
Well, you
night.
know, you're the champ.
From the
Life's
Viper.
good.
Yo, Rhode Island, bro.
That's
Snake
sweet.
bite.
Yeah.
No?
It's from Randy Orton.
Thank you.
Kalisto,
Fan fiction.
Kalisto Kalisto flipping that monkey flip.
Oh, the full.
The
oh,
The
full
450
just
monkey
like,
flip.
holy
That was
crap.
sweet.
And like the tag, not even the tag where he just interfered by jumping through and got caught and then thrown right back out. That poor guy, but he's also just one of the best.
incredible.
He's
incredible.
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Tope Atomico. I remember that's what that's called.
Yes.
What else we got? The springboard moonsault. the revert.
Just call out every
everything.
single move in that match.
Everything was like
Everything was
spot on.
good.
This
wasn't
was
it?
a spot-on tag team match,
Yeah.
especially coming from, two guys who've known each other for a long time, but maybe not necessarily have been in a tag team very long, versus former tag team champions who've been touring around for a couple of years.
I've got to give it to commentary. They actually, I think for the first time, referenced the LA dojo.
They did. Antonio Inoki's dojo.
Where they had originally trained, they'd never been a tag team before. So it really gives you the history of how long these two guys have known each other and how well they may know each other, and now they're coming together. It's kind of like the Omega powers of the really different variety, but still, it's just that big meeting.
Yeah, I reckon it's really good. It was so clean. Everything that they had to hit was spot on. I think Neville gets a lot of praise for being the high flyer, but I think they forget Kalisto. He can go. He can really go.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Overall, great
is magical.
episode of NXT. I want to give a
Definitely.
shout out real quick to everyone who's rated us 5 stars on iTunes, Tornado Davis and Ryan Witalison. Sorry, I always mispronounce your last name.
Tornado Davis.
Thank you guys for the 5 stars, and please keep on rating if you guys listen to us or watch us on YouTube. Just take 30 seconds, go over to iTunes, give us 5 stars, tell us what we're doing great, what we could improve on. Nothing. Awesome.
Thank you for looking right at me for what we can improve on. I appreciate
What we could
that.
improve on.
I owe you a head pat.
Damn right, it
And thank
Head
you
pat out of
all.
nowhere.
Thank you to the 3 people that commented to our question last week of who do you think will make it to the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I'll give a shout out to one of the people who did on YouTube, Essa Gente? Essa.
Gente.
Yes.
Gente.
So everyone else just commented on Eva Marie. Basically, every other comment was about Eva Marie.
So-
Just a lava pit of hate for Eva Marie.
We went back. I went back and watched the match, and yeah, the miss of the 3 count was very apparent.
Do we think that's storyline, or do we think that it was?
I think it was real, but
a
I think
mistake?
there's an opportunity to turn it into a storyline. You could have it to where Eva paid off the referee, because
Paid
the ref should have called the 3, because that's his responsibility too.
Yeah.
And then Eva would have lost the match, whatever. So so first of all, in order to cover both of their asses, you turn it into a shoot or a work, and you have, with all of her reality show money, paying off this referee, and now he's the dirty referee in NXT. You give him a little bit of story too. So anytime he comes out, he gets booed, and it makes the matches that much more interesting.
You're giving them all this stuff for
Or
free.
you
I've
give it-
been!
No. Give it a longer arc. Make this happen repeatedly. Make this happen a few times. So by the end of it, there's this legion of female wrestlers who want this man's head.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, you get to kill a referee. When there's just a whole lot of women just piling out of this guy,
And then
beating the
Eva Marie
ever-loving crap
gets
out of him.
suspended for 4 games, and then they take her to court, and
And then they apologize to her
That's Tom
for
Brady.
the suspension. Well,
Okay,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
we shouldn't have done that, lady. You're really all the things you did were fine. They were fine. That's American football.
I'm learning.
talk.
I was like, what's happening?
It's a big deal.
Like, the Brady Bunch is still on TV?
Yes.
oh my no!
We just got that. We just got that in the show. Yeah, we just got it.
So you can chat with us. Let us know. Or what question should we do for? Actually, do you guys think that was a mistake, or do you think that it
No,
was?
they don't. We already heard about that.
We
They
already
don't
heard
think-
about it
Okay, new
last
question.
week.
Just kidding.
Like
thought of a question before.
My question, you don't have to answer it, is what would it take for you to cheer for Eva Marie?
Cookies.
What would
Bring
it take?
in cookies, just like Bo did.
Absolutely. Just start tossing cookies like frisbees
Red
into
velvet
the audience.
cookies. All
Yes.
red
What if-
velvet
All red
everything.
What if she had a segment like Bo, where she couldn't leave, or she wouldn't leave the NXT
She
arena?
should be the delusional one. She should be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, everyone is talking about me. Like, that's a really good thing.
She was kind of doing it before, when she would come out to the ring and everybody would boo her and they'd be like, I love you too. You are out of your mind, lady.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Should we report about the news that was made public earlier this evening?
Yes, we should
Yeah,
mark
we
down a
should go.
So really quick news and gossip. AfterBuzz TV News. I did it myself. All right, so tonight, as much as we talk about there not being any spoilers, this was made public via Triple H, via NXT, via WWE.com's website, so we're going to report on it.
Is it really a spoiler even?
No, I was telling you. So we have. I told you. No. Not even tonight. I've been saying this for months. Is that before the end of the year there will be a main event for the NXT Women's Championship, and here we are, October 7th. You agreed with me on October 7th.
So 89%.
I thought it first.
Yeah, I'll take the 89% passing grade. So on October 7th, we are going to have what is being dubbed an Iron Maiden match. A 30-minute
really
Iron
metal.
a 30-minute not an Iron Woman match, but an Iron Maiden match with Sasha Banks getting her return match for the NXT Women's Championship versus Bayley, and it will be the main event, the final match on October 7th's Takeover. Free at last.
So
We've
excited.
been to the mountaintop.
Did Becky Lynch come up with the Iron Maiden thing because she always talks about Made in Ireland?
Possibly. I don't know. That was something in chat. I don't know where it came from.
Bruce Dickinson, special guest referee.
That is gonna be such a good match. Oh my gosh.
And it's a 2-hour show. Imagine how much they have to fit into 2 hours with a half-an-hour main event.
I just want to go. Like, I feel like we're spoiled now that we've seen one in person and like.
It's pretty awful.
So all of the people at Full Sail are going to hate us and chant us out of the building.
Hooray!
I want to go. Okay, anyways.
And if you can send us there by going to nxteam.spreadshirt.com.
We got gimmicks.
We do.
Yeah.
But yeah, super, super fun news. Just like, mind exploded. We got it. We did it. Christmas has come early.
It's a big thing for women's wrestling too, like huge.
Oh, that is
Man,
incredibly huge.
especially the work, like the Workhorse show, the show that's about wrestling.
And we've been talking about for months now on our show that the girls in every interview, and Triple H has said this as well, that they want to main event a pay-per-view on the main roster. And that's something that we see happening in the not too distant future.
Definitely.
And
It's
this
getting
is just
closer all the
the
time.
next step in making that a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So super exciting news. I think that will be an incredible match. Let us know your thoughts on the YouTubes and on Twitter. Until next week, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. Let me know how much you hate Eva Marie by tweeting me hashtag all red everything.
All red velvet everything.
All red velvet. No, that's for you. That's for you, Cupcake. So yeah, tweet me at SoapboxMark at the Gimmick Pod. Actually recorded an series of episodes with Ken Knapsack. Unfortunately, a couple of episodes with Ken Knapsack, former host of Jedi Alliance, friend of us here at AfterBuzz. Schmoes know, amazing human being, and I didn't know his story about Millennium Pro Wrestling and how they want to bring it back and all that stuff. It's a very good
Should come
interview.
back.
Love that dude.
I was there at the final show.
I know you were there,
right.
and you bowed Bo right in the
Yep.
bows.
Lobo.
You low blow Bo. And also, we've got some new stuff up on nxteam.spreadshirt.com, including some fun parody stuff, so give it a look.
Yeah, that was... Wow, what a show.
How?
Your turn, Hobo.
At True Hobo on the Twitter. Don't buy a shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo. And watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood if you want to learn how to wrestle. Follow at CWFH Training on Twitter or call 818-381-2563. Put yourself over,
Carlo Cash Money.
Well, I'm going to say my name in the American way because I say Carlo and they don't say it right.
What do you mean?
I went to Starbucks and said my name was Carlo and they spelled it Kalo. So I have to say my name is Carlo.
Carlo.
So you can find me at Carlo Cannon on Instagram and on Twitter, just at Carlo Cannon. How's my American? Was that all right?
That was pretty good.
Thanks,
dude.
bro.
That's pretty California.
That was pretty tall.
How you going?
Wow, I'm going all right. How you going? You guys all right?
Yeah.
Going all
Gonna
right.
go over
Thanks for watching.
Crikey.
Check you later.
You can follow me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly and on Instagram at Kathy Kelly. Follow all of us here on Twitter and Instagram at AfterBuzz TV.
Tagged you back. Also,
Follow
make sure to
us.
pick up the Young
Yes!
Bucks Too Sweet. It's a very good documentary.
Too
And
sweet.
James Frank, wonderful. Just buy it.
You mo-
Too good. Like, you need to get this. Highspots.com.
Highspots.com.
Do it.
Sweet.
Way to be right.
See you
I
next
saw it.
time.
I saw it. It was great. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.